You're listening to Question Reality. Question Reality with Priscilla Leona. Priscilla Leona. Only on LA Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome to Question Reality. I'm your host, Priscilla Leona, and we're coming to you live from Studio City, California. And you can catch our show every Sunday from 5 p.m. to 5:50 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if this is your first time tuning in, our show is about informative entertainment done in a fun, upbeat style. We'll provide you with tips, advice, and resource information on how you too can pursue a career in show business. We have guests that work in various professions of the industry, so that means that we will definitely have someone from a career that you're interested in on the show sooner or later. And if you want to know who will be on the show in the future, you can visit our official website, and that is questionreality.us, not .com, questionreality.us. And if you want to check out any of our past guests, read their bios, and listen or download any of the shows, you can do that if you're on the if you're on the website right now. What you do is look up at the top at the Schedule 1 link. It's at the top of the LA Talk Radio website, and you'll click on the Schedule 1 link, and what that does is that'll take you to the archive page, well, it's not actually the archive page. It's a page with a whole bunch of the shows. You look in the time slot of Sunday at 5 p.m., click the link, and then it takes you to the archive page. And that is the archive page that has all of my past guests. You can peruse at your own leisure, and then you can click play, and that will get you to listen to the show right away. Or you can download us by right-clicking and doing Save Link As, and you can put us on the computer, and then you can listen to the show at your own leisure. Now, you can also download any of the shows. We are on iTunes under the podcast section, and we also are coming out with an application that will be available on your iPhone. LA Talk Radio will have its own application, and I don't know when that is, but they're working on it right now, so I will keep you abreast of that. Now, if we would love for you to call in and ask questions or provide comments on any guests that we have on the show. But we ask that you do that between 5:20 and 5:30. And when you call in, we take your calls directly. You don't have to go through a screening process. You talk to them live. And the call-in number is right in front of you. If you're listening to us live, you should see it underneath my cute little face. It's 323-203-0815. 323-203-0815. Now, we have a great guest for you, as we do every week. Actually, there are two. One of them is hopefully going to join us soon. She is at a wedding. We have probably the most gorgeous couple that I've ever seen. They're truly movie star looking people. I mean, these two are so gorgeous. I can't even tell you. Josh and Rebecca Weigel. And they are the combination. They are producers, directors, writer, and one actor. And they are going to be talking to us today about being a producer, director, writer, and actor, and from their perspective, how they got there, what it takes to get there, what their trials and tribulations are, and how you too can get to their position one day. Okay? And we're going to talk to them a little bit later, but first, we always do the wonderful advertisements so people love so much. Let's see. Now, we got some exciting stuff coming up for you if you are in the entertainment business and want to keep your career going and want to be involved. What you have to do is you have to go to things. You can't just do 1, 2, 3 things. You got to do everything. So, on June 2nd to 3rd, there is a factual entertainment forum. It's called Real Screen on June 2nd to 3rd. It's a reality pitch event in Santa Monica. And you guys who are writers, you know that you go to these things. They have them every year. This year it's going to be in Santa Monica. If you want to learn more about it, it's factualentertainment.com, FACTUAL entertainment.com. On June 4th through July 17th, wonderful play, The Group Rep, Theater. Actually, it's the Lonnie Chapman Theater, but they go under the group rep. They're going to be presenting an updated version of Baby, the musical. It is going to, it's going to open June 4th at 8 o'clock, of course, standard 8 o'clock Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday at 2. And it's at the Lonnie Chapman Theater, 10900 Burbank Boulevard in North Hollywood. And it's a fantastic play. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's really great if you're an expectant mother, if you know someone who's going to be having a baby, because what it is, it's a charming, poignant, memorable musical, and it involves three couples who are exploring their relationships in light of new expectant parenthood. So very good play. So I highly encourage you to check it out. I'm actually going to be having a contest, which will hopefully one of you will win 2 tickets to go see that. The tickets are $22, but they do have discounts for seniors and students and groups. But again, I'm going to start the contest next week, and you can win tickets to go see that. So tune in for that. Now, on June 11th through 13th, New Media Film Festival. Now, if you're an actor, this is something that is of great interest to you. Actually, if you're in the entertainment business, period, because a lot of people are still confused about the new media. What's happening? You know, the webisodes and acting for things that go on the let's see, what? My God, I'm still up in the air about it. But the webisodes, the things that go on the what are the damn telephone things? Oh, Lord, you know, the things you watch on your iPods, just new media in general. This is a new media festival, which I highly encourage because it's really going to get you tuned into what that's all about. Again, June 11th through June 13th. And they are going to be, it's going to be talking about the digital age, and they're going to be talking about unique 3D, and they're going to do it by having a pajama party. It's a celebrity red carpet event. They're going to be doing opening night film shot on red, RED. Panel discussions are going to be with Ted Shilowitz, which is the red camera, Per Peterson, who's the 3D expert, Peter Jackson, Greg Reitman, and it's going to be at the beautiful downtown Los Angeles Theater, which is at 251 South Main Street, and it is only $10. If you want to find out more about that, you want to go to the website newmediafilmfestival.com, newmediafilmfestival.com, and again, they're going to be answering all the questions for actors, producers, directors that you may have about royalties or anything that is pertinent to that field. On June 13th through 16th, the BANNF World Television Festival is going to be happening, and you can go to the website. That's BANFF2010.com. Now, June 26th through 27th, they're going to have the Great American Pitch Fest, and that is on pitchfest.com. Pitchfest.com. That would be great for writers. Get your stuff out there. Contest. A lot of people win prizes or whatever else they have on there. I didn't check it out yet, but they usually have something great for people who submit. And on July 12th through 15th, there is the NATPE, NATPLA TV Fest. That's happening in Las Vegas. I think it's in Las Vegas. No, it's in LA this year. And you can check that out at latvfest.net. On June 17th through 27th is the Los Angeles Film Festival. Yay, everybody goes to that. LAFilmFest.com. And for you guys that are interested in anime, on July 1st through the 4th, the Anime Expo is going to be at the Los Angeles Convention Center. So that's always fun for those who are interested. And that's going to be anime-expo.org, anime-expo.org. On July 12th through 15th, already did that one. July 30th through August 5th is the ITV Festival. That's itvfest.org. And lastly, a friend of ours, for those of you who know Dee Wallace Stone, she has a new book out called The Big E. Now, Dee Wallace Stone, if you don't remember, of course you should if you're in the entertainment business, but if you don't, she was the mother on Steven Spielberg's movie E.T. phone home, E.T. And she's been in, just about everything. But she's been in hundreds of top projects in the entertainment business, but she's most widely known, again, for her work as the character Mary, the mom on Steven Spielberg's big hit movie E.T., and she has a book, and you want to read it, so you want to go to her website, which is officialdwallace.com. Woo! I said all that. I am winded. I need some water. I need a Snickers bar. I need some energy. So many things going on, especially if you like to stay active, and you have to stay active if you want to be in the entertainment business. Now, today, again, we have Josh and Rebecca Weigel. We are going to briefly talk about Joshua and Rebecca right now. And he moved to Los Angeles he had the goal of creating films that have a positive impact on the world. He was hired as an assistant at the WB-TV network, which led to an art director position on U.S. network promos and national commercials, also including several Super Bowl spots. In 2007, Josh began making shorts, and he co-wrote and directed 4 award-winning films, which included The Butterfly Circus. And that is how I got to know Rebecca and Josh Weigel, because I was referred by Winnie McKay, who does all things that are circus-related. She runs the LA Circus, and they had called me for a part in The Butterfly Circus. But unfortunately, I had a torn meniscus and could not participate. So unfortunately, I referred that part to a good friend, Jackie Zane, who went on to do a beautiful job for them. This movie has had much critical acclaim, and Joshua has gone on to probably, he's going to be walking the red carpet like any day, maybe any year now, because of this movie. I think this is definitely the one that's going to launch him. But you've got to check it out. You can see that it is available on a website, which I believe is called thedoorpost.com, but we're going to find out from him when we talk to him. But you want to watch it. It is absolutely just beautiful. Let's see, Joshua was also an actor. He was booked in several national commercials, short films, and recently he appeared in the Samuel Goldwyn theatrical release To Save a Life. And Joshua continues to pursue his multifaceted career. He's, again, an actor, a filmmaker, and he's currently working on the script for the feature-length version of The Butterfly Circus with his wife and writing partner, Rebecca, who, my God, she is just so stunning. She is so cute. I just have to mention this because she looks like a young, better-looking version of Meg Ryan. So I'm sure she gets that all the time. We'll have to ask her. Now, Rebecca is a writer-producer, and she received her MA in psychology from Pepperdine University, but it wasn't until after juggling life as a mother of 3 small children. Boy, Josh has been working overtime. I got to find out how long they've been married. 3 children. I didn't even catch that when I was reading the bio. I got to talk to them about that. And she developed an interest in screenwriting. She's co-written and produced several award-winning shorts with her husband, Josh, including the film we just talked about, which is The Butterfly Circus. And the film has received over 5 million views online to date, and it's increasing by over 500,000 per month. That is how good this film is. And since the film has been received so well, again, they're going hog wild, and they are working on the script for the feature. Everybody wants a feature, and that's what they're working on. So without any further ado, let's check them out. Listen, I want you to go to his website and find out more while you're listening to this. The website is joshweigel.com, JoshWeigel.com. Josh! Rebecca, are you there?
I know I am here, and I heard that introduction, Priscilla. You're good for my self-esteem.
Well, hey, my God, looking at your picture is good for a lot of things over in this camp. We're not going to talk about that, this being a family show and everything.
I know. Let's get my wife on the line here. She's going to need to be a part of this.
I know you guys guys are good Christians, so I'm not even going to talk dirty like I normally do. I'm going to be a good girl today and respect you. Hey, Rebecca's off to a wedding, I understand, right? Who's getting married?
She was. She's available. A friend of ours got married, actually the editor of the Butterfly Circus. So congrats, Chris Witt.
Yay! Hey, well, well, I don't know. He should have held off on getting married because that movie is going to be a hit. I hope he got a prenup.
I know he did.
That's going to take off. You know it. It's so hot. I can't wait to get into talking about it. But so Rebecca hopefully will join us a little bit later. So we'll start with you. Now, you are originally from Colorado, I understand. So I always ask everyone the standard question because a lot of people are always interested in what people wanted to be before they became who they are, because a lot of people, it seems to me that you either go through wanting to be 2 or 3 different things before you become what you are, you stumble into what you become, or there are some people it almost is like in the womb they're getting the directions. They come out and they just hit the floor running and they end up being exactly what they wanted to be. So what I want to ask you and Rebecca is to name 1 to 3 professions that you wanted to be when you were small, that you wanted to be when you grew up.
Good question. Actually, you can call her now. She's available, just so you know. And then,
Ronan, why don't you call her now while Josh gives me his little answer. So what did you want to be?
I don't know if I could name 3 because I think I was one of those people that just kind of knew. I mean, it didn't really hit me until maybe 12 years old or so, but I did know that I wanted to get into film pretty early. So I think I had a lot of interest in acting too.
Hello, this is Rebecca WEIGEL. It's not available, but if you
Rebecca's got the voicemail on again. Oh, that's okay. We'll catch her later. So you're saying that you just hit the floor, and you were one of those people who knew that they wanted to do filmmaking, just right away?
The thing that stood out to me is I just couldn't get enough of movies, and I mean I could watch them constantly, and so after I don't know how I started reading a book because I never did that. I was too into movies and everything, but I ended up reading a book. It was actually called This Present Darkness, and it totally inspired me, and that really kicked it off for me. I really wanted to end up being a part of that film, making that film someday, and it put me on that path.
How old were you when you read the book?
I think I was 12 or 13, so I was really young.
And what's the name of that? Because I'm sure people are going to be like, what's the name of that book? What's the name of that book?
Yeah.
What was it again?
It's called This Present Darkness.
Okay. Who was that by? Do you remember?
By Frank Peretti.
Okay. And what was it about the book that really kind of cemented your thoughts about immediately starting to look into that area?
I think what it was, you mentioned us being Christians, and, you know, even at that age, I had a really hard time with a lot of the, like, religious media out there, and it just really bothered me. And so this was a book that someone gave me that I think actually was the first time I'd read or seen anything that I respected or enjoyed even. I probably more like enjoying at that age. And it was about angels and demons and all these great things visually, and I thought, man, this would just be incredible on the screen. So it was part being excited about, you know, what the story was, but also the opportunity to put something that incredible on the screen, that visual and that that adventurous. So
yeah, well, too bad you didn't get to do that before they got to do Angels and Demons or the Da Vinci Code. It sounds like that's the type of movie, right?
Yeah, every now and again they come out with something close, and nothing yet. So thank God.
So it's sort of the same thing. And okay, now let me ask you. I don't mean to go off topic, but I want to get, being a Christian man, what were your feelings about those 2 movies? If you've seen them, how do you feel?
Oh, right.
How did you feel about them?
I enjoyed them. You know, I didn't really have. Some of them you take more seriously than others, and I think it's a really good idea to critique your religion. And I think that Da Vinci Code, the little that I did, I think I saw Angels and Demons. I don't think I saw the first one, but
okay.
I
saw the first one. I didn't see the second one. So.
Oh, really? Okay. I hear that's the better way to go. But
yeah.
In any case, I think it's a healthy thing to do. I think you've really got to challenge what you believe, especially on a religious level, because it can be so easy to fall into just believing it because it's what you're used to. And
right.
I personally don't feel threatened by it. I have enough faith in what I believe to do that, and I think it's good. So it's also entertainment, and you need to be able to have some fun with some of those topics because there's such great fodder for.
I know, and they make so many of the same type of movies, the horror and this and that, and it's really good. I think that they should bring, personally, I think they should bring more spiritual movies in and make, have a big name person do them, such as the guy who did those movies, or the directors who did those movies, because then they're going to be done well, and they're going to start thinking, because I tell you, I was just blown away by the whole thought. And I'm a spiritual person, but I'm not a religious person. I was brought up Baptist, but I'm not like, a Bible thumper or anything. But when I saw that movie, The Da Vinci Code, I was like, wow, what if that's true? And I still, to this day, it brought up so many questions. And I think that those types of movies, I think more of them should be made, because it really kind of harnesses us back to thinking about things about our spirituality and where we come from, and bringing a little bit of religion back, because we can get so, we can sprout out and think about so many different things and get lost into making films and doing projects that are about comedy or about this and that, but not necessarily thought-provoking films. Am I right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I think so, exactly. I think that really the bottom line is, if there really is an ultimate truth out there, then it should be able to stand up to the test of a theatrical film or a book or a discussion in a coffee shop. I think that. And there are times where everyone's beliefs are going to be challenged at some level, and if it can endure that, then I think you have something lasting and something worthwhile. And so that's where I'm at with it. I think it should all be on the table and be able to be scrutinized if it's really solid.
Absolutely.
And if you're going to take a film as your proof and then walk away from any faith because of one single movie, then I'd have to question how much you really were holding on to, So.
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean, even if you go see a movie and it's not what you believe, go see it anyway, because there might be something that's going to get you thinking. I mean, don't be so closed-minded and say, I'm not Catholic, I'm not going to see that, or I'm not Buddhist, I'm not going to see that. I mean, open your mind. They went so crazy over poor Mel Gibson's movie. What was that, Passion of the Christ?
Yeah,
now, I've never seen that. I've never seen it. But my God, but think about it. Everybody went ballistic over that. And then they went pretty kind of crazy with the Da Vinci Code. But I think that's great, because those are the types of movies that really, they're the ones that people are going to be talking about at the water cooler. So I think that if you're a filmmaker or a writer, I think you should try going that route and really making a good one, because those are the ones that really stick in your mind. And I think that that's why what movies win the most Oscars? It's what is it, the biographies, right, or the true stories, right?
Yeah,
and
I actually don't know.
Yeah. Actually, more movies have won Oscars for being real movies. What is it called when they retell the story of a person?
The biographies.
The autobiographies.
Biopics and stuff.
Yeah. So more movies have won Oscars. That's what they say. So I wanted to know, I know that you had said in your bio that you came here with the goal of creating films that have a positive impact on the world. Now, what is your positive impact on the world? Is it going to be more of going the religious route, or what kind of positive impact, what message do you want to create? Because I know with the Butterfly Circus, oh my God, I had the tissue out. I mean, I couldn't stop crying. I was sad. I was happy. I wanted to give my money to a charity after I mean, it evoked so many emotions emotion. So I know that you have the ability to create so many messages, because there were a lot of messages in that movie, The Butterfly Circus, which I know you know because you were one of the writers. But is that the route that you want to go, or what kind of message are you going to focus on as a filmmaker?
Well, I don't know if I would say there's going to be one thing or another. I think that ultimately I want it to have a positive effect on someone's life, and I think that anything that is really actually good by nature is going to lead you to what's ultimately true. So I don't feel like my stories need to be directly about my faith in Jesus Christ or something like that, because to me it's so often enough to just tell stories about the things that Jesus himself really was into and really taught, because, and that's my personal interpretation of that stuff, where I feel like there's value in that. But, it's very obvious that people respond to what's good, and they want to be loved, they want to be valued, they want to feel that they're lovable, that they're important, that there's a point to this life, and all of those things resonate with people. So whether you take them all the way back, to the far end of the religious path that they might lead down, I don't know if that's necessarily important. That's certainly not my goal. I want to speak to where people are at in all different places in their life, and if there's something about someone just needing to know that they're actually loved and they're important when they don't feel that they're anything like that, or that they're ready to take their life, that's where I want to meet them. And as a storyteller, being able to use film or media to speak hope and life and truth, or whatever I, personally think those things are, I put them out there. And if it connects with you, I'm hoping that it'll affect you in some positive way. So that's what I mean. If it connects with you, great. But I do hope to tell stories that, whether you want to share my religious values, you at least enjoy the film. And that's what our goal was with Butterfly Circus, was, regardless of your religious affiliation, it's going to touch you somehow.
Well, let me ask you, first of all, I love the title, The Butterfly Circus. Where and how do you get your inspiration for the things that you write? Like, for example, let's do The Butterfly Circus. Where did that idea pop up?
Well, I think it's it's from really trying to pay attention to what makes people tick. What is it about being human that we need, and what resonates with us? And it's true that so much of my life is about my faith, and so I actually do spend a lot of time, in my relationship with God, searching for things that might resonate with people. So, there's a lot of inspiration that I personally feel comes from my time and my wife's time, both of us together, just really, wanting to know what that might be. And then it's I think also just recognizing, again, what is it about us, human beings, that is important. And my wife's background's in psychology. She can talk more about that, hopefully, if we can get her on the line. But, understanding, like, how we think and what experiences, how those things affect us, what we might go through, and being able to meet people where they're at emotionally, or what they're struggling with, is a lot of times where the inspiration might come from. So the Butterfly Circus came from a combination of those things, and, partly, strangely enough, came from a Tom Waits song, which
from a what
really
song?
created a Tom Waits song.
Oh, okay.
Tom Waits, he's so theatrical, and I was listening to him one day, and in that kind of Depression-era circus vibe of one of his songs just kind of swirled around my head, and that's part of where the time and the setting came in, and then I just talked to my wife about it, and it snowballed from there, and that's where it always really, the rubber hits the road, is when I sit down with Rebecca and we start hashing the stories out, and they end up just evolving into what they end up being on the screen, or
it had a very very John Steinbeck kind of Grapes of Wrath feel to it.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I loved so much. And just now, do you feel like do you start the creative process first as a thinking along the lines of being a writer? So do you think about it, write it, and then follow through with the steps of taking over, being the producer, and then the director? So how does it work for you? Because with you being so multifaceted, because you're also an actor, but speaking of just the filmmaking aspect, does it come to you first in your mind? Do you see it as a writer and you say, oh, I got this great idea. Then you start writing it. Then you think, okay, well, I got it written. Now I got to start put my producer hat on. Or do you go, oh, you know what? I want to produce a film, and then you start writing. Or I want to direct a film. What kicks in first?
I think it's the story. It's and for me personally, it's a combination of a visual experience, mentally, I should say, that often will come from music. That's for me. I can't speak for my wife, but that's kind of where it is. But it's always story. It's always some trap of a story that comes into my head, and then I'll again just start talking about it with my wife, and we'll brainstorm it into something bigger. But yeah, it's always story, and I'm also just so inspired by visuals and taking people into a completely different world, or showing something at least very fresh about the contemporary world and experiencing it in some unique way that it's at least got a really interesting layer to it, so that you're not just seeing everyday life, you're getting a little bit more.
Exactly. Now, let me ask you something. I know that you, let me get this correct. You are from Colorado, but I don't know what you got your degree in, or did you, because it says that you're from Colorado and you moved to Los Angeles in 1988, and then it goes, you worked as an assistant at the WBTV network. So my question, and then you went on to become an art director position, blah, blah, blah. Now, question. A lot of people choose different routes. Some people decide to go to film school because they say that they feel they need to have that basis. They need to have the building blocks, because they think that only if you go to film school are you going to be a successful producer, director, blah. A lot of people just start doing it right out of the gate. People have different routes of doing it. What do you feel is not necessarily the best way, because it depends on your situation, but do you feel that you have to go to film school and learn the building blocks or the basics in order to be successful in your own right, or in your own mind, a successful producer director? Or do you feel that if you have the inspiration and the passion, that's enough?
I know that one of the first things you'll hear when you come to Los Angeles, or any place that the film industry is vibrant, you'll hear that you don't need film school. And one of the first producers I met when I came to Los Angeles at the WB TV network asked me if I'd been to film school, and when I said no, she says, well, good, because I'd just take that diploma from you and throw it in the trash can if you did. And
wow.
It was pretty strong, and I thought, wow, I mean, thank God I didn't spend $100,000 being educated there, if that's true. But I know I wasn't for sure on that, of course, and so, but over the years, it seems pretty clear to me that is not an important step. And I have met plenty of people who have had successful careers that came because they went through film school, and it can very much work for you, but there's no way that it's a requirement, or that's really going to give you an edge coming into this industry. So to me, it really comes back to finding out what it is that you really want to do. And a lot of people don't know that when they're thinking of the film industry. They think they know, but when they come here and they start experiencing it, they're either tempted away to something that they never expected to be doing because it's making them some pretty decent money, right, or they realize that it's really not what they wanted to do. So I feel like the more quickly you can figure out what you're about and what you really want to spend the time doing. And I would say also that a lot of creative people can do a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's finding out that thing that you're most passionate about and really focusing in on that thing or those couple of things so that, you can give the time to it to become good and to refine your craft and educate yourself or get the experience you need. So certainly is, not about educating yourself at an institution.
Yeah, I get a lot of emails from people who are very confused by that, who are not in LA or New York, and they say, well, when I come to LA, I'm thinking about going to AFI, I'm thinking of going to a film school. I want to have all the tools in order to be the best director or the best producer, because how will I know what to do if I don't go to film school when I come from, Duluth? So can you answer that question? What if somebody really wants to be a filmmaker, doesn't have the money, only money for a bus ticket, comes here? Is there a possibility that he or she will make it? And if so, how do you do it?
No doubt you can. There's people who make it every day who are no good at all at what they do. So it's not about necessarily being good. It's not necessarily about knowing somebody or any of those things, but I would say you got to go towards what's most likely, and to me that's being good at what you do, honestly. So because I think it makes a way for you. If you're a good actor, you're going to find doors opening for you, because when you come to this town or New York or others, there's opportunity and there's places to find it. There are resources that you can find those opportunities at. And when you're good at something, people want to work with you. When you have a good attitude, when you're a hard worker, when you're good, people naturally want to bring you on board. And that works in any respect. That could be simply being a grip on a set. Mm-hmm. And as an art director for a number of years, and I had to hire people, that's what I'd look for. I mean, do you have a good attitude and are you a hard worker? Mm-hmm. And I'd bring you on. And so, bring that into any aspect of the film industry, whether it's acting or directing or producing. I think the most important thing is to really get good at what you're doing. So take the classes, read the book. There are so many resources out there.
Yeah.
A lot of information about how to hone your craft. But that's the thing. And then once you get to a city like Los Angeles and you start learning the resources, it's amazing how quickly you can meet somebody who knows somebody that can get you in front of somebody, and then you have an opportunity. You know what I mean? So,
So you would say, if I asked you what you felt were the characteristic traits that were going to guide you into being successful in the entertainment industry, whether it's producer, director, actor, what would you say they were?
I would say you need to be skilled. You need to be tenacious and determined to do the hard work that it takes to excel in any part of the film industry. You can't give up, and if you find yourself giving up, you don't have the endurance for it, then it's probably not going to happen for you. It can, but most of us really have to spend a lot of time and sacrifice a lot of things to make the steps forward. So I think that's what it's about, being good at it and refining your skills, enriching yourself as an artist, and working very, very hard and sacrificing a lot of things on your way there. And, for me, it was spending a lot of personal time just studying and learning what I needed to do, taking the classes when a lot of other people would have been out partying or clubbing or, schmoozing, before they were maybe ready to, watching TV, going snowboarding, whatever it is. There's so many things to distract you.
Yeah. So that's something out here. When you come out here, remember, you're going to want to be, because a lot of people think that a lot of people have heard, and yes, it is true. You do need to network. You do need to market yourself. You do need to go to these social events. But I feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel that you really need to have some sort of skills and have something under your belt before you go out doing all the partying and networking and socializing, because what are you going to do when you go there? A lot of people think, oh, I'm going to come to LA. I've done 2 plays and I'm going to come out here and hit the parties and I'm going to be successful, because they've heard stories of people doing it. But that doesn't always happen. They end up becoming reality television stars. What do you feel about that?
Oh, you're so right. I mean, it would be fantastic to meet the biggest person in Hollywood, but it could be your worst nightmare, because if you're not ready to, what do you have to offer them? And there's no shortage of people who want to make it in this business. There's no shortage of talented people.
Right.
So besides just proving that you can do something, you need to be ready with something to do. And if you're an actor, be ready to act. If you're a screenwriter, then have a screenplay ready to hand somebody. And, a director, have a reel that can prove that you can direct, and even then, have a project that you want to direct. So,
right.
A lot of it's in your court. But, the encouragement is, if you've got something that's good, I think that your chances are really good that you're gonna succeed.
That's right, because you have I think that you need to focus on getting something that you can show, because a lot of people think they can go to the party and they say, oh, well, I came out here and I want to be an actor, I want to be a director, I want to be a producer. Mm-hmm. Say you do go and meet Steven Spielberg or one of the other producers. Okay, you meet him at a party. So what? You have nothing to offer. That is not going to get you anywhere. So if you go in before your time, then you've just blown it, because they're just going to look at you as somebody who's a wannabe, and that's it. You're done. So, I think that it's with luck and opportunity and skill. When they meet, that's when it's going to happen. So I totally agree with you on that. Now, let's talk about what you're doing now. You and Rebecca are working on adapting the Butterfly Circus into a feature film. Now, what's the process of taking it from the short film to the feature? How does that work? What do you do to make that happen?
Well, for us, it came during the short film writing process. We realized that we had a bigger story. So, that's where we started planning for it. And, the success of the short blew us away.
Oh, I know. Now, wait a minute. Let's tell people where they can, because I don't want to run out of time. It's 5:43 and this is over at 5:50. Let's tell them where they can see the Butterfly Circus. What is it? Outdoor Post? What is it?
You can either Google it, or you can go and to thedoorpost.com.
Thedoorpost.com. That's where that's where you got it started, and that's where they voted it. I didn't know it was anywhere else. I don't think they can see it on your website, right? You do have to.
No, it is on YouTube though. So if anyone forgets, you can go to YouTube and search for the Butterfly Circus, or Google it, and usually you'll see some links. And it's about 6 million views now.
Yeah.
So it's going wild, and that's regardless of that though. My wife and I really got passionate about it and started to form the story, and we spent a lot of time after the competition just brainstorming and writing. So that's the process for us is fleshing out the story completely. We've got some really unusual advantages with this because of the number of views. Don't get me wrong, you can throw up on a home video and get 10 million views, but we've got a 23-minute short film that is being seen all over the world, and that's a big commitment. So to get those kinds of views and then to get all the comments that we're getting shows that it's got legs. So we're taking that momentum and approaching people now saying, it's meeting a huge demographic from kids all the way to senior citizens. It's got a huge following already. We've got a bunch of people on board to act again, and then also financiers. I think we're going to have people lining up to finance, although we are still looking for financiers because we haven't committed to anything. But that's the process,
Let's talk real quick. That film, with it being such a high-quality film, how much, you don't have to tell us exactly, but in the ballpark, something like that, what does it cost to get it made?
It was over $100,000 for that short, which is really big for a short film. And
what's the price range for usually a short of that time period? What's the range usually to get a good product
of a Depression era?
Mm-hmm. Any short.
Oh, any short of that length.
So it's going to be at least this, but don't go crazy and spend over this.
Well, a lot of people like to say it costs them nothing, and I never believe that because you pulled a lot of favors and free stuff that way. But I'd say between $3,000 and $20,000, somewhere in there is probably the average.
And that's for a 10 or 20-minute short, you think?
Yeah, I think for a 20-minute short.
Okay.
I mean, I still think you're going to really be challenged to make an exceptional short for $20,000.
Yeah.
But yeah, somewhere in there.
And then go to the next level for the short.
I mean, there's so many shorts. You gotta stand out somehow, and that's our philosophy was, go big with this one and stand out. Or go home. We said that a lot.
Now what? God, we have so many questions. I want to get it all in. Okay, so for the Butterfly Circus, did you to finance that? Did you use money that you worked for, or did you get investors, or how did that happen?
Combination of things. We got some seed money from the Doorpost, and then we got money from investors. The bulk of it came from investors. We also put in some personal money and, had some loans from some friends. Okay. So just a whole combination of.
So that's how you get it done, people. Exactly what he just said. Hit all those areas to get your short done. Now, when you take it from the short to the feature, where do you go to get the money?
It's going to be independent financing. So we have different sources lining up, but we're hoping to produce outside the studio.
Same as before plus some, or is it going to come from a totally different venue to get it to the feature status?
It may come from one of the sources, but it's fresh right now. We'll see.
Okay. Do you get financing to turn it from a short to a feature? I know there are many different organizations that give like grants or things like that. Do you recommend that somebody, if they've made a short and they want to turn it into a feature, do you recommend going that route to get grants and stuff? Or what do you feel is the best way?
I think the best thing from what I can tell right now is to go to the money that costs you the least and has the fewest strings attached, has the least amount of risk. You don't want to pay a huge amount of money back to someone on top of what they gave you, and you don't want someone suing you for your film rights and taking the movie from you. So you want to be safe and not just get money from anyone. But I guess that depends too on how desperate you are just to at least get a movie done.
That is something we got 2 minutes. I wanted to ask you real quick. So many legalities, so many things. How do you protect yourself? What did you do to protect yourself from when you were shooting and say you worried about somebody falling during your production? What did you do? What do you do to cover that when you're on a budget?
Well, you get production insurance, and that'll cover that stuff, and with waivers and things like that. But we didn't do enough to protect ourselves on the things you don't think about at the short film level, and that's rights, story rights and contracts and those kinds of things often are overlooked at the short film level. So the first thing I'd say is really get a lawyer. You got to get a lawyer, and if you can't afford it, which we couldn't, find a way. I mean, it would have saved us so much trouble, and it's all hopefully going to work out, but,
can you recommend anybody for the poor filmmakers? We need the name of a lawyer who'll take care of us, but not charge a lot because there's
nonprofit lawyers out there that will do it. Lawyers for the arts, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right. Lawyers for the art. And so, what about distribution?
We'd like to go studio with that if possible. I mean, I hope to have the audience that will do that, but we'd really like to go big with this one and think we can. So we'll approach them.
Well, I tell you, it's 5:50. Can you believe that this interview went so fast and we haven't even we've only gotten to 4 questions and I had 20?
Wow.
Well, you know what that's going to require, Joshua.
I know. Bring me back.
You're coming back.
I love it.
You're coming back next year, please. Can I beg you?
Oh, we definitely will. We definitely will. And I'll bring Rebecca. Are you kidding me?
That's right. You're going to have to strap her down and say,
I owe you. So we'll do that.
That's okay. I tell you, we barely covered the surface with this. So, my God, with Rebecca, we probably wouldn't have even gotten hardly anything. People, it takes up more time, but that's okay. Next time we'll get you and Rebecca, and we'll have a better idea, because it'll be in the feature, and we'll talk strictly about the feature. Well, if you want to see the Butterfly Circus, go to thedoorpost.com or go to joshuaweigel.com. Joshua, God bless you. You know what? Hit me up for some money, baby, because I want to be a part of the Butterfly Circus, because I didn't get to be in the first one. I gave that to Jackie Zane, but I want to be in the movie. So,
all right.
So I am in for free, and I'm going to give you some damn money for it. So hit me up. Investment money.
You can't beat that. Thank you, Priscilla. Wow.
I am not ashamed of saying I will buy my way into a good movie like The Butterfly Circus. I have no shame, because that movie is going to be a hit. Check it out, The Butterfly Circus. Joshua Weigel, Rebecca Weigel, thank you so much for being on, and good luck to you as an actor, to SaveALifeMovie.com. I am going to hit you up next year. Thank you, Joshua. God bless you.
Thanks for having me. So grateful. Thank you very much.
Bye, everybody. See you next week.
You're listening to Question Reality. Question Reality with Priscilla Leona. Only on LA Talk Radio.